So the next component we will be talking about shopping list. Shopping list is nothing but a group of items you want to add in a single click to your requisition. Okay. For example, uh, whenever you are recruiting your employees, you want your employees to create requisitions for certain items. So initially you want to give a laptop bag, you want to give a diary, you want to give a set of pens and other accessories. Okay, whatever it might be, you want to group all those specific items into a shopping list. So your employee can go and search for that shopping list, okay, and add all the items at once to a requisition with a single click. So they don't need to individually go and search each and every item. Or regularly you're ordering specific items, okay, and you want to create your own shopping list, that is a private shopping list, so that you need not search the same item every now and then. Okay, add that entire shopping list to your requisitions. Okay, so there are two that is a shopping list available, either public or private shopping list. Okay, and you can group items and add those items to your requisitions. And the next concept is information templates. So what is an information template? So when you create a requisition, there might be a scenario where you have to capture additional information, right? For example, let's take a business example of employees ordering business cards. Okay, I want to order certain business cards. I raised a requisition for business cards and I wanted 100 quantity, right? Now, what information should be printed on the business cards? Okay, somewhere I have to specify, right? My job description, or what is the fax number, what is my desk location, what is my email ID, okay, my means like mobile number. So such kind of details are specific to every user. Okay, some organizations might pull the certain information from the HR records. Okay, if that is not the case, like I as a user, as an employee, I myself can key in certain information. Okay, like I want this number to be printed on my business card, this is the mobile number I will be using for my official purposes, right? So to capture additional information, you can configure information templates. Information templates are nothing but your DFFs, okay? Are nothing but another means like it's just a naming terminology used in self-service procurement. It is similar to a DFF configuration. So you'll have different segments and a context. So depending upon whatever context you're using, the DFF segments will be displayed and you can capture that information. But whatever information you are capturing here, okay, when you raise a requisition and you capture certain information in the information template, is available in the downstream applications. So when you convert that requisition to a purchase order, that means like information that you captured will be available as an attachment automatically. You can associate an information template to an item, okay, or you can associate to a category, or you can associate to a smart form. So these are the three entities for which we can associate an information template. To a smart form you can associate, to an item you can associate, to a category you can associate, right? So what is a smart form? We will see means like in the next slide. As I said, information templates is nothing but a DFF, similar to DFF configuration. So it will have value sets and information template DFFs. So you have to define those value sets, like what values I want to select within those attributes, or I want to make them as a user enterable text fields only. So it is a typical DFF configuration. Okay, so manage information template descriptive flex fields. And the next one is manage smart forms. So let me go to right. So what is a smart form? Purchase requisitions. Okay. This is the self-service screen. We'll come back once we do the configurations. Let me click a non-catalog request. Come on. Okay. Okay. So as I said, you can see I can create a non-catalog request. So e-business people can relate it to the simple non-catalog request we used to have in eBiz. From people from other ERP systems, as I said earlier, you can simply create a requisition using an item description and a category association. So key in the details of the item, you don't know the exact name of the item, or you're not maintaining the items at all within your inventory, then you can put a description and a category and create a requisition. Enter the unit of measure and what is the price of the item and the supply details if you know the supply details, right? So this is a non-catalog request screen. Now, if you want to, this is a typical non-catalog request screen. If you want to configure any of these fields, means I want always to default a specific supplier for all my non-catalog requests. Then I can specify what is the supplier and what is the supplier side. I want to default a category all the time, means only these category of items can be created using this non-catalog request. I can default a unit of measure. I can default the currency. I can default as well as I don't allow the user to change it. So if you want a configuration options within a non-catalog request, then you will go for a smart form. A typical non-catalog request will look like this. Okay. If you go back to our catalogs definition, now let me show you the okay, manage smart forms. If I create a new smart form, let me open it. Any existing one, anything is fine. Like consulting services. Okay. So the same fields are available here. If you see whatever field available here, okay, item description, category, and supply details, all are available here. So against each field, I can specify whether this is a user editable field or not. So any kind of configuration you want within a non-catalog request, then you go for a smart form. For example, I want to default a supplier, and I don't want the user to change that particular supplier details once it is defaulted. Means all non-catalog requisitions has to be routed through that particular supplier. Okay, then you can make it a user uneditable. So you don't want the user to edit it. Or if I want to default a currency, I don't want the user to edit it. I want to default a unit of measure. So such kind of configurations can be done using a smart form. Okay, so you create a smart form, similar features like keywords, image URL, instructions, smart form, and what procurement DBU you will be using. You can configure those fields and you can associate your information templates to a smart form. As I said, you can associate an information template to an item, to a category, and to a smart form. If you want to use information templates within self-service procurement, then you have to use smart forms. There is no way you can use an information template when you create a direct non-catalog request. A direct non-catalog request doesn't have information templates, cannot have information templates. Okay, information can only be associated to the smart form. Okay, so that is what I want to tell related to smart forms. Okay, so this slide talks about what is a smart form and all those functionalities. Okay, so what are the different setups you need to do? Set up your procurement profile options, set up your descriptive flex fields, define your catalog category hierarchy. Okay, once you do these configurations, then you go for defining your managing your hierarchy, managing your different blanket purchase agreements. Okay, if you want to use those agreements or items sourced through agreements within your local catalogs, you'll manage your agreements. Define your content map sets if you're using punch out setup. Okay, kind of a functionality. Then you define all types of catalogs, local catalogs. Okay, include or exclude from agreements, or include or exclude from categories, or include items. Punch out catalogs, use a content map set. If you're using punch out catalog, information catalog is just a typical information providing entity. Then you define your information templates. If you want, you can define your smart form, associate those information templates to a smart form, define the public shopping list, that is nothing but a group of items. And once you define all these elements, then you go and create your content zone. So earlier we defined, right, whatever content you put into that content zone, whether you want to put a catalog or a smart form or a shopping list, then you can define and decide who can access that particular content zone, right? So I think we missed the catalog category hierarchy. Let me show you that quickly. So we have covered the catalogs. Click on catalog category hierarchy. It is similar to other hierarchies. Nothing you can build means like a root category. You have build a different browsing categories. Under a particular browsing category, you can insert the actual item categories. Sorry for that. Okay, your root category, your different browsing categories are used only for the purpose of navigation, and the actual item categories. Once you click on the last browsing category, you can insert the item categories under the last node, okay, at the leaf level. And you can use this edit options or delete a particular category or edit a particular category or add a new browsing category. Okay, and within the browsing category, you can insert your different desired item categories. So this is how you will build a catalog category hierarchy, and you will use those configurations only in self-service procurement. So this hierarchy is used only in self-service procurement for your employees, right? So we will come back to content zones. So we have covered information templates, okay, and that is a DFF configuration anyways. So we have what is a public shopping list? Click on public shopping list. It is just a simple list of items. Let me see an existing one, or I can create a new one. Just a group of items here. So I grouped a few items, like 6 or 7 items, okay, into my new employee office kit. So whenever I hire a new employees, I want them to give, or I want them to access self-service procurement and add this particular list to the requisition. So all the items can be added and they can request. Okay. So this is it's like use of your shopping list. And we've seen smart form, how you can configure your non-catalog request as well as associate your information templates. Purchasing news, if you want to broadcast certain news to all your employees, then you can specify what is the BU and what is the information you want to broadcast. Okay, for example, I can key in certain use preferred supplies for all your business requirements. So whenever employee logs into the self-service procurement, he can review these details in their login screens of self-service procurement, right? So if you go to purchase requisitions, you can see this particular purchasing news displayed. So for each BU, you can have a specific news configured, right? And what else? Manage content map sets. Let us look into manage content map sets. As I said, there are 2 punch-out configurations available. One is for CDW, one is for Dell punch-out. So if you want to manage map sets for the punch-out configuration, you can see the manage maps icon here. Okay, this is the icon. So click on that icon. Once you click on this manage maps icon, you can see there are 4 elements displayed for me: unit of measure, supplier, supplier site, and category. Okay, so I can do a mapping at these 4 levels. Now, if I want to edit any particular entity, I have to select that particular entity so that the edit option will be enabled. If you see directly open it, it will look like you don't have access to edit it. Okay, the other fields. So if you want to edit unit of measure or category or supplier, so select that specific entity, or if you want to delete a mapping, you can delete it. So let me click on category mapping. Again, this is ADFDI functionality. The moment I click on edit, it will ask me to download a particular Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so this is ADFDI. Let me pull the password. Copy. Okay, let me open that edit category map spreadsheet. So you have to connect to the application using your login credentials. It will extract all the information. If any mapping is already defined earlier, Where is that? Where is that Excel file? Let me reopen again. Yes. Is this blocking? Just give me a second. Catalogs. Map sets. Okay. I think some issue with my Excel. Yesterday it worked fine. Close. I have to check why this is not opening, but anyways, I will debug at a later point of time. But yesterday we have seen, ADFDI functionality, like for categories, you can download all the information. Okay, here the similar thing, you can download the Excel spreadsheet, you can open the spreadsheet. Then you have different columns. What is the categories your supplier is using? What are the categories your internal organization is using? You can do a mapping there. You can create multiple records and click on upload. So all those configurations are available within this category entity, within this particular CDW configuration. Okay. Not sure why it is not working. Yesterday I showed you a demo for the categories, right? So when you define your categories, you can use ADFDI functionality to download existing categories, create new categories. The same Excel configuration is available, okay, for defining all your items. Once you define your map sets, right, you can associate your map sets to your punch out catalog. So you have to go to catalogs, create a punch out catalog, and associate your map set to that particular punch out catalog. Okay, fine. What else? Smart forms, shopping list, information template, content zone, catalog, category hierarchy, and all of these things we covered. Let me take few questions and then we can go to content zones configuration. Is procurement BU optional while creating a local catalog? While creating all these entities, a BU is mandatory. Okay, you specify what BU you are creating, but that doesn't mean that you want to use it only under that particular BU. When we go to content zone, I will tell you means like different configuration options. For creating, you have to create those objects under one BU, but for association, you can associate to multiple BUs. If the category did not assign with item, how to include the category in local catalog? If a category did not assign with item, how to include the category in local catalog? See, if you have not assigned items to a category, still you want to include, it will give you a list of categories available within purchasing. You can include that within your local catalog. Maybe at a later point of time, you start creating items and assigning those categories. Means because you did not assign an item to a category, that that doesn't restrict you from selecting that from a local catalog. Only thing is like when you browse through a local catalog, no items will be displayed under that particular category. Agreements and category work and or condition in catalog. Okay, it's like both. You can include items, for example, if you don't want, you can configure as per your requirements. So you want to play around only with agreements, select only the agreement section. If you want to only play with categories, then you select only categories. If you want to include all items from item master, you can do that. If you're selecting both, then it is or condition, means whatever satisfying the agreement items, that will be displayed. Whatever satisfying the categories also will be displayed. So you can say it is an or condition. Is it like search by using Google? Yeah, you can say that, keyword search. Can we apply multiple map sets if in case needed? You don't need multiple map sets. You only need one map set, but you might map multiple values into a single value. For example, in CDW, you are creating mapping for your categories, let's say. So you might be having only one category called computer categories, but the supplier might be having 50 categories within that. So you want to assign all those 50 categories, map it to your single category. Okay, so you can have a simple map set defined. One map set is required for each punch out configuration. You can only have one map set. Within that map set, you can have only those 4 attributes. As part of punch out, can you get the image from supplier site? Yeah, if it means like if the supplier is okay using their images, you can simply means like take even from their website, you can simply take their image. As long as said, you're not taking any kind of restricted images. Okay. Do we need to specify BU details while releasing a requisition and assessment, or they're linked to only employees? You need not specify BU details. You can, as I said, in enterprise structures, you define your BUs. Under BUs, you have your departments. Your employees belong to department. So indirectly, your employee belongs to a specific BU. Okay. For example, if you take any organization like if I work in India, so I will belong to India business unit, right? If I move to US, then I will be moved to US business unit. Typically, at a point of time, I cannot belong to both business units. Okay, so it is like it's like at a point of time, an employee belongs to a particular business unit, and that business unit will be automatically means like depending upon the configuration, he can access that information within his self-service procurement. What is the difference between 3 source available in punch-out model? 3 source. Where exactly is that? Let me see. Okay, the different types of configuration like Oracle XML, Oracle Direct XML. It's how you want to means like configure your punch-out configurations. Okay. So for that you have the punch-out setup guide. You can go through that. Each will give you what are the different options available to configure your punch-out. Do we need to have a local catalog for each BU even if items and suppliers are same? It depends. Means like, as I said, if you are defining items within an item master, okay, and if you want to use them within a self-service procurement, you have to define a local catalog. If you don't want, you go for means like supplier punch-out catalog, or you can go for only punch-out catalog. You want both, then you go configure both of them. Is it possible to have two different EMs? We have EA as internal and punch out set as box for the same item. Yes, that's where we do a mapping, right? So you will be using each as internal value, and you will be mapping to an external value called box as the supplier item. So when we bring information, that box is converted into EA using the map sets. So you don't need to define multiple UMs against an item. You just define a conversion. These are like data mapping conversions you typically do in an integration if you are integrating with any third-party system. So mapping in external values with internal values. Catalog is same as quotation or of similar functionality. It is not a quotation. Catalog is completely different. The three types of catalog. The quotation, if you are talking about negotiation, like a request for quotation, then we'll talk in sourcing, but it has nothing to do with quotation here. I created a procurement catalog and inserted the category, but the category is not assigned with item. I cannot find that category and add it in the public shopping list. See, yes, you created a catalog, but you did not assign it to an item. But you want to use that category in a public shopping list. What is a public shopping list, right? So it definitely contains what items you want to include. If you're not assigning items, so typically that is not available here. Or you might be missing out in another BU. You have to check the configuration. Case by case, we have to see what exactly you are missing there. Add to favorite, add to cart functions are available in creating non-catalog request. Why add to cart functionality means a non-catalog request, you create a requisition that will be added as a line to your requisition. Yes. But add to favorite, I have to check if the functionality is there. How many smart forms can be configured? As many as you require. Manage agreement step in procurement catalogs. So manage agreements is like you create your, yesterday Dharam might have covered the different types of agreements, right? So we have session yesterday on agreements, that is a blanket purchase agreements. Okay, so you define your blanket purchase agreements, include your items, the products and services you want to procure from your different suppliers, right? So all those definitions are available within a blanket purchase agreements. Now, if you want to create a local catalog and use those BPS, you will be managing them. So manage your agreements is nothing but you will review, okay, what information is there within that particular agreement. You can search for those agreements and you can see what items are available within those agreements so that you can include them within your local catalog. Creation and all is part of your purchasing. Creating a PPA is part of your purchasing, but managing is like you just want to see the configurations there, so you can search those agreements. So that manage agreements will give you that functionality. Internal requisitions, we don't have internal requisitions as of now, but we handle material transfer through transfer orders. That is internal material transfer, we call it as. So automatically you create a requisition as well as you cater that requisition via you fulfill that particular demand. Okay, we call it as IMT via transfer order. Internal requisitions might be introduced in release 13. As of now, we don't have internal requisitions. What is the difference between news and information catalog? Okay, publishing news is like, just like you want to have a pop-up information on every screen. Okay, you want to just broadcast certain information on a daily basis. Information catalog can contain your policies, you contain a lot of documentation, it can contain another URL where you have to you can navigate. Can I add a supplier as my preferred supplier in cloud procurement? Yes, you go for ASL. Approved supplier list. Smart form is only for non-catalog requests. Smart form is a way to configure non-catalog request screen and add your enterprise structures.